What's up, everybody? So today we have this Toyota 4Runner in the mix. Customer complaining of rear brakes hanging up or making noise or something bad. So let's take it for a spin, see what we hear, feel, go from there. We got discs in the front and we got discs in the back. Oh, there's your issue. You guys see what I see? Yikes. Okay, that was a quick diagnostic. How's this side? Not bad. They said there's parts in the truck. Let's see what we got. Pads and rotors. Great. I mean, I could take it for a drive. You guys want to hear it? Sure. Oh, that's fancy. Sure. Never had one of those slide out for me before. I can hear it in the rear. I mean, it's grinding. We saw that rotor. I think that's a pretty straightforward diagnostic. We could see that the rear left rotor is all chewed up. That is an immediate indicator that they have gone through the entire brake pad and now are just pushing the backing plate for the brake pad into the rotor, and that's what grinds into it. So hopefully their caliper is okay. That's the only concern here. All right, so let's make some room for them. That's so fancy how that pops out like that. All right, so I'm just gonna start with the breaker bar and bust all of these lug nuts free on both sides while the truck is down. Then pick it up, put it on jack stands, chock the front, start pulling stuff apart. So we're just gonna start by getting this caliper out of the way. Looks like it's tied in with just two large bolts back here. You do want to be ready with a bungee to hold this up because you don't want it hanging by the brake line. You just get your bungee ready. These pads don't look that bad, but we're in here. Is this rotor gonna come right off? You gonna come right off, Rody? Persuasion? Oh, no way, it's got interior drums built in. A double rotor, cool. Disky drums, that's so cool. All right, this should just pop out. I'm gonna get some clamps and see if we can squish that back down real quick. If you don't do this, you won't be able to get the caliper back onto the new rotor with new pads and new rotor because it'll be taking up too much space. All right, and here we've got our new gear from Import Direct. Comes with the extra little mini hardware, some grease to get into the contact points and the interior of the hardware, and these pads look nice. So yeah, we're gonna pull the other stuff out, get this hardware installed, get these pads in, keep moving. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is just take like mental pictures here of the new product and how the old one is installed here so that I can do it OEM. So what I'm gonna do is probably just take these out one by one. That's probably gonna make it the most straightforward because I've never been inside this caliper before. So I'm just gonna find one piece at a time here and match it up with what it should be doing with the replacement so I can do it the same. And now we're gonna feed these in the same way the other ones were oriented. Torque spec for these is 65 foot-pounds. All right, that's one side finished. Let's move on to the other side, which has a lot more damage. Look at that thing, chewed up. There's the culprit, all out of pad, just down to the metal. That'll do it, folks. All right, so that's job done on the brake section. Let's take it for a quick spin, and we're gonna have to pump the brakes here to get the pistons to compress back to normal. All right, that's feeling good again. So far so good, it's flying straight, it's not dragging one way or another. Cool, yeah, feels good. All right, well that's job done for this 2018 Toyota 4Runner. The reason that we saw the rotor get chewed up on one side and not on the other is because usually when people do brakes, they don't grease the hardware properly. You saw me putting that little grease into those channels, and then the pads can't slide in and out. Also, sometimes the guide pins aren't greased. Anything that's hanging up, you'll see one of the pads out of the two go bad faster than the other. If they had worn evenly, we would know that they had just been in there for a long time. So make sure to lubricate your brake parts in the right areas before putting it all back together. That's it, job done. We're gonna send it back to the owner. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you guys on the next one. All right.